Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Remnants of Dysfunction. My name is Mark Rockwell. I'm one of your hosts. I am joined by Mr. Chad Malazzo. What's good, brother?
What's up? How's it going?
What's happening?
Oh man, dodged a bullet on that storm.
Flying, flying in Nashville again?
Yep, in Nashville again. Until
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I saw some pictures from around there. The shit getting real down there, or what?
it got pretty bad. We've been fine. It barely rained today. Had the sun out. It's nice. Things starting to clean up. But we were fine up here. Thank God. Every place
I
else looks
saw a
like they
couple.
got destroyed. Man, it's sad. So sad.
Saw a couple of photos from one of our relatives that down there. Didn't look real good.
No, they were lucky. It was a rental condo, man, and they were really lucky that they didn't have renters in there and it was empty. So that was good on their part for sure. They have to deal with that.
Shout out to the cousin Justin out there working like a madman on those power
He's
lines.
a lineman. Yeah, got to praise and thanks the linemen out there getting power back to everybody, risking everything to do it. Be some dangerous work,
Amen. Amen.
not knowing what's hot, what's not. Oof, trudging through mud and all that crap. That would suck.
Yeah, that would be
And long days. And they're dealing with
definitely
that.
earning that paycheck.
And they're dealing with that condo getting flooded. And luckily, their house was good. Everybody in the family's houses were good, so that's good. Feel bad not being down there helping, man. But I got that closing coming up on this house, and all that I'll be halfway down there. So if I can get the closing done, uh, then I'll be able to just jump from there down to there, I guess, and see if I can help down there or whatever. Figure something out. But
Speaking of helping out, I just want to go. I'm not going to give this person too much recognition by throwing out any names, but we did a little thing where we were waiting on a comment, and we were going to give out some free cash, and he called us a bunch of liars and scammers, and that's totally unreal. That was a legit thing that we were doing. So fuck you
yeah,
and
yeah,
kiss my ass,
yeah.
you
Well,
scumbag fucker.
thanks for coming on and saying your 2 cents, though. We appreciate the view. Yeah.
Yeah, next time you want to trash talk somebody, go do your mother.
Damn, Mark went after it.
Well, shit, that shit fucking pissed me off, dude.
Yeah, it pissed me off too. But
We're trying to
brothers.
we're trying to like, get out there and do good stuff for people, and you're gonna you're gonna you don't even fucking know us, and you're gonna tell us we're scammers and liars and bullshit. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. All right, so we're gonna jump right into this.
Anyway,
This is not medical advice,
uh,
by the way. Anything we talk about, we
before we get in, I want to tell everybody that if they go, I'll put the codes for our
oh yeah,
10% off. It's 10-50% off. ANS Performance. Get your performance stuff for lifting weights, your weigh, your all your good stuff. And then Reaper Apparel. Reaper Apparel is helping us out. We're gonna get some of their goods on here. Hopefully, I'm gonna get a hold of the owner. We'll get him on here. He's dealt with depression and anxiety and a lot of stuff that we talk about when we're not cutting it up
Hmm.
or being assholes. So anyway, all right. What's today's topic, Holmes?
Man, we're just gonna go into my journey with panic and anxiety and depression and agoraphobia and all that fun stuff that people mention them, but they never go into a whole lot of detail about what they look like. We're just gonna share our experiences with it and mine or yours, and hopefully somebody can relate and not feel so crazy. It's a lonely place to be when you're there, man. That's for sure. Lonely place.
Well, I for years, for years, I downplayed truthfully anything he told me about because I never had those kind of problems. Never bothered me up until recently when not medical misinformation, but the antidepressants that they had me on totally fucked my shit, and I saw a whole different picture.
Yeah. I was dating a girl one time, and I've had them pretty much my whole life on and off. Like I'd go through phases, and I'd be good, and then I'd go through phases, and I'd be bad. And that girl I was with for a really long time never really understood it. She always told me it's mind over matter, and you got to think positive and think this and think that. Man, it when we broke up, she started having panic attacks, and she was I'll never forget the day she called me and apologizing for what I was going through because there's no mind over matter. She's like, you can't talk yourself out of that thing. You got to ride it out. There's no talking about. Hers was situational, obviously, because she was traumatized and stuff. But yeah, they're pretty rough, man. And they don't. So for panic attacks, they don't. It's never really just have barked all night. Not one peep, dude. We watched 3 football games. Not one peep. Um,
Chad's dogs love being on the podcast. What can they say? Got to get their 2 cents in.
all right, yeah, they want to talk too. They're not depressed or anything, but no, I forget where I was going now. No, man, it's I've always had them my entire life, and I'd go through phases where I'd have them a bunch, stressful situation come up, and I'd think too much, and then you get out. It usually happens out of nowhere. It's never like in the stressful situation. It's usually after the fact of something, or you're sitting there hanging out with somebody or something, and all of a sudden you'll get a little something will almost trigger like a little sensation, like all of a sudden your heart will skip a beat, or you'll get instantly dizzy, and you'll hear me say brain and mind, two different things, because the brain will take over, or the mind, I don't know which, but subconsciously something will take over and start coming up with all these scenarios in your head super fast of picturing yourself having a heart attack, picture yourself seizing out, or picture yourself having an aneurysm, and you start feeling like you're having it, and everything's going so quickly. Next thing you know, you're spun out, calling 911, running to an ER, trying to go to somebody for help because you really physically think you're dying, and the mental torture of it is ungodly. And man, you can. They say if you wait, like they only last about 15 minutes, and the peak of them only lasts about 15 minutes, and that's the longest 15 minutes you'll ever go through. And the way I explain it to people is like, if anybody's claustrophobic and you lock somebody in a box and tell them to not freak out and just breathe, no, you're losing your damn mind. There's nothing about it. So you're very claustrophobic feeling. And
I got a question for you
shoot,
though. Seeing how we grew up together, and I would know that you've been to the Redlands twice, and we raced motocross all those years. Was any of that prevalent in those times?
looking, and I've thought about that because we race motocross and all that stuff, and even in my older days, um, looking back, yeah, I think it was there. I've pictured myself crashing and wrecking, and we've seen some pretty bad wrecks in our time at the races. We'd see some nasty stuff. I think you froze up, Mark. Um,
I
yeah,
think
you definitely
Mr.
froze
Ronaldo
up.
got frozen. Maybe his internet took a shit.
I
I
don't know,
think
Mark.
somebody froze up. I don't know who it was.
There you are. You
Back.
froze up on me for a minute. You were gone. Huh?
Said you froze up on me.
Oh, yeah, you froze up. I'm sitting here watching myself going, Mark's gone. But anyway, look,
Your your, your face was all like,
that's awesome. Love it. Now looking back, I definitely think it was there, especially because do you remember I used to chew my chest protector part, the little edge of my chest protector? I'd chew the crap out of that, and I would chew the inside of my cheek. Like I was a nervous wreck until after that first turn. But I used to sing a lot when I'd ride. You'd hear me singing probably across the whole damn track. Um, but that was an adrenaline dump. I was doing something that was dumping adrenaline. It wasn't until I got older that when I'd ride, it never happened while I was riding. I was in such peace when I was riding, but before before I would ride, it wouldn't matter if it's a practice or not. The night before, I would get real panicky and anxiety because I'm like, man, I could break my neck. What if I do this? What if I do that? Is there going to be an ambulance there? And then when I'd stop, I'd go ride or whatever, be fine and stop. And then, I'm counting checking my heart rate. Oh my God, is my heart rate get up too high? This doesn't feel normal. Heart slammed through your whole body. And it was weird, man. But you could justify it in the same sense. Like, well, dude, you just rode a moto or you rode some laps. Like your heart rate's going to be up. It's just the fact of it doesn't feel normal. And so you don't normalize it. But I got real bad
Wasn't all
after I
the
had COVID. That was
wasn't all
terrible.
the stress that was put on you, was it?
No, probably not. No. That's another thing. I put a ton of stress on myself too, but and so you'll have I always have anxiety. Like there's a huge difference between anxiety and oh wait, hold on. Um, oh, I told you not to take anything. Don't take anything yet.
Because I uh, our dad was always competitive growing up,
Yeah.
and we were always it was always win mostly at any cost. So I was just wondering because I coached you during basketball, and that was pass the ball to Chad. I know Chad knows what the deal is, and he'll get her done. And if he don't, then he knows he's going to catch hell from Big Brother. So
Yeah, yeah. A lot of pressure from you guys, but it was good pressure. And I do think that racing like we did and how competitive it did ended up giving me a uh, very critical self image. I was just really hard on myself because you guys were hard on me, and I was just kind of trained to rewatch the races and see where we could have gotten faster. We didn't ever look at something like, man, that was a good move, that was a sweet move. It's like, man, this is where you should have been a little faster. This is where you should have been quick. This guy beat you here, and so you were just critical of everything in a positive way. But I definitely think that played a part being so self-critical today. So it's your
nothing
fault.
like stuffing a PW50 rider when you're on a 125 at the practice track.
Yeah. So then after your panic stuff gets figured out, dude, you end up going into a bad depression because you're like, what the hell's wrong with me? Like, for example, like I'm sitting here talking to you right now. You wouldn't even know that I'm sitting here with my hand touching my leg so I can feel my heartbeat 'cause my heart feels like it's beating hard. And I'm sitting here like, okay, the hospital's a couple hundred feet down the road. The fire hall's right at the end of the road. Like I can get there pretty quick. I'm feeling nauseous, but I can sit here with you and have this totally normal conversation, and then my brain is just going like coming up with all these scenarios, man, and it gets scary. And what's scary about it is nobody knows that you're doing it, but you. And it's like, man, I just want that thing to shut off.
Well, that's kind of like maybe kind of like when you block the different feelings that you get during the day or whatever,
Yeah,
where you could be having a panic attack and have a normal conversation where somebody else could be ready to off themselves and still carry on a conversation with somebody like that's not even happening.
yeah, yeah. It's weird. So I don't consider what I'm going through right now, like what I'm having right now and stuff. My palms are sweating. My breathing feels tight. My mind's racing like crazy. This is what I consider anxiety for me. When it's the panic attack, that's when it's like there's no. It's very hard to just sit through one of those. I mean, normally when they're bad, when I either call 911, hop in the truck, run and sit in a fire hall parking lot. I mean, rarely do I go into hospitals and stuff anymore. But man, to go sit out in the parking lot with one, like I said, your mind just creates these movies that feel so real. And then when you're somebody like me who always follows your gut and your intuition, you're like, oh, I saw this happen. I knew this was happening. I'm having a freaking heart attack now. I'm gonna die. And it's weird because I'm not afraid of dying at all. Uh, I guess I guess the transition is what scares me the most. But yeah, man, it's a weird thing. And then I became, like I said, always having it. But since I had COVID the last couple times, man, my mind just went berserk. And then I got in this loop of, because it feels like it's forever. You're like, I'm gonna be crazy forever, man. You're gonna have to lock me up in a nut house, and that's never true. Um, but I got to where I became agoraphobic, man. I could not leave the house. I was trying to go to work one day, and I literally was in the driveway on the phone with Ruth. Like, I cannot leave. My truck's running. I got in the seat, and I could not put the thing in reverse to back up the driveway. I was like, what the hell is this all about? Like, I couldn't do anything but literally just get back in bed and just lay there like, what? This is new. And man, then I was like that for several weeks and months. I mean, I could not go to the grocery store. I couldn't leave the driveway. It was, and it's a constant battle with yourself because you're like, I know I'm fine. I can leave the driveway, but I couldn't leave the driveway. It was crazy. Like you're in a constant battle between your mind and your brain. Your mind that you're thinking clearly with for the most part, and then you got your subconscious thoughts that are overpowering you. Because we always have subconscious thoughts, and you'll get some and you're like, why did I think that? Where the hell did that come from? And then you want to pick it out. But man, that was a rough time. And I still get like that now. I had to drive to town the other day to Nashville downtown and for Aiden's birthday party. And I could go the back way and be there in like 15 minutes. But the back way is desolate. It's country. It's a beautiful drive. But I'm like, no, I'm going to take the 35-minute way because I know where all the fire halls are and the hospitals are on my route. And then I'm just like, God, that's such a terrible way to live. And I don't understand why I'm like that, but that's the only way I can travel right now.
How much of that do you think has been ingrained by society?
I do think there's something going on. I think Granny played a big part with me growing up being so negative. If I picked my nose, she'd tell me that her aunt died of nose cancer because she picked her nose. If I had a headache, she would bring up your mom about the tumor and just stuff like that. And then being told, if I cried, I was going to get taken away by bobcats. But man, I've been really
Guilty.
guilty. Thank you. I'll send you my bills. Um, I'm on these anxiety and panic disorder groups, man, which are great. I can't say they're not great enough. There's a guy named Trey something who's started one, man, just phenomenal groups, very helpful. But I will say that days that I feel the most panicky, I can get on those groups, and the the same things that I'm dealing with that day, because panic comes in so many different forms. Like earlier today, I thought I had esophageal cancer and stuff because my throat's been sore and my belly's hurting, and I'm like, and I can feel it when I eat something. So text Ruth. I was like, maybe I've got esophageal cancer because I can feel like I don't feel good and this, that, and the other. Man, I kid you not. You pull up them groups and there's somebody on there that's going through the same thing, and they'll post, "I think I've got esophageal cancer." Like I literally just saw one a few minutes ago. Um, that somebody said the same, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I just posted that. So somewhere or another, we're all being fed. And I hate being a conspiracy theorist or something, but I'm like, are they sending wavelengths? I mean, can they do that? Send something out in the air? Or is it something we're reading? Like, where's this crap coming from? Uh, I do think we're being fed it somehow because if you go on TikTok and you're scrolling through, watching funny stuff, all of a sudden there's this quick video of a guy falling over having a heart attack, and it's like a heart attack can happen at any time. It's like I didn't need to see that scroll past, but it's like that quick being told thing. And now the big kick on social media or in my panic and anxiety groups are parasites. Well, if you go on TikTok, there's this lady that's showing up all the time talking about parasites in your body and all this crap.
How much of that do you think they're? Because I'll shit you not. You and I talked about. Well, you talked about because I couldn't build one. My freaking life depended on it. But barn dominium.
Hmm.
You mentioned wanting to build barn dominiums, and I shit you not. If I go on my Facebook, I'll see an ad about a barn dominium, or I'll see a picture of a barn dominium.
Yeah.
So they're fucking listening. Something somehow they're listening. I've heard from so many people that they would say, all I did was mention this, and I get ads on my phone for it, or all I did was, this, and I get ads on my phone for it. So something fucking going on.
They are listening 100%. Well, I have to say 99% because I don't know for a fact. But uh, I was talking to somebody about something the other day that was so one off random. And next thing I know, it popped up on my phone. I'm like, there is absolutely no way in hell that my phone can just pick that up, like, or just randomly sent me that. Like, there's no way. And it was something weird, man. It wasn't like something you normally talk about. Oh, crap. I forget what it was, but I'll think about it here in a little bit. But I do think they're listening. I think Facebook's really bad at it. I think TikTok's getting even worse with it because they show the little segment videos. Um, and I hate to think that we're being manipulated like that, but dude, they're listening somehow and they're feeding us this crap. But they want us to be scared. They want us on medicines and all this stuff. It's not right. It's not right.
No, there's a lot of fear mongering. I mean,
Yeah. For
you go
yourselves.
back now and and look how much stuff's coming out about how much the pandemic was bullshit, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, and all
Yeah.
they want to do is push the things that I'm not going to say because it'll take us off YouTube. But
Yeah. That.
the
Yeah. That. Yeah. That was a. That's a bunch of crap. Yeah. The jibby jabby. Um.
jibby jabby.
Jibby jabby. Yeah. That was a test run, man. I think they controlled us all. They owned us all. They figured out how we'd react. It was just weird, and the fact that the liquor stores got to stay open, but grocery stores you couldn't go in was like, huh? How's that work? Um, can't go to work,
Well, that
but
was the
you can go
thing.
get your beer.
We sold at work more paint during that pandemic than, and I get it. People are sitting around bored off their ass, looking, wanting something to do, so they painted their houses. But paint's, we used to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Oh, must be buying paint is essential.
Well, and I think too, man, mold has become a big thing that they're starting to talk about a lot. Mold poisoning stuff because there's mold in everything now. There's mold in coffees. There's mold in our food. There's mold in our drinks. It's pretty insane. Um, but I will say that when I had the vid, man, the brain stuff was not good. I mean, I couldn't think clearly. I couldn't. I mean, it was like brain fog times 1,000.
Well, here's the best thing: my sleep schedule before I had the vid. It was absolutely crazy. I'd be up half the night and go to work and maybe get an hour or two of sleep, and I was good to go. I got the vid a couple Decembers ago. I slept almost the entire time I had it, and I have slept like a normal person ever since.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know.
I think something with it changed my body chemistry because that's when I started drinking, and the only way I felt normal is when I would drink. So that led me to drink. Um, and because I didn't drink for 11 years, man, I didn't even touch it. And I had that first sip on my 40th birthday, and I was like, "Well, I actually feel normal. I don't feel crazy or nuts and all that stuff, man." And I've even went down a rabbit hole of my own self on that. Like, did they give us something that made us addicted to something? Because I mean, I'm having a hard time putting that thing down, man. I'm trying. I went 7 days the other day without a beer, and then stayed up till 7 o'clock in the morning drinking, so that went good. But I say that I had like 10 beers in 12 hours, not even 10. I think I had like 8.5 or 9. But it's like I still stayed up till wee hours in the morning. It's like this is stupid. Um, but no, it's
Well,
uh-oh.
here's my thing. Think of all the. I mean, we're old enough to remember back in the days, and you never heard of people having anxiety or people having panic attacks,
No,
and
no.
it's you know the older we get, the more prevalent it's become. So is this, like I said, is this society driven, or of course, back in the day, you also could take a pew pew into the shot. You could have a shotgun in the back window of your pickup
Right,
truck going to
right,
school,
right.
and you know
Yeah,
nobody thought anything of it.
never thought to think of it. I'll say this, man. I watched an old movie the other day, and the time lapse between they're actually shooting the film and the time where it goes to the next one. New movies are so fast. Everything's so fast. Like the scenes, like the quick change, the camera change, camera angle. It won't stay more than like 3 to 5 seconds. You watch an old movie, dude, you're going to like 7 to 10 seconds before the camera changes or flashes, and everything is so
Well,
fast,
our attention spans are different.
losing you.
If they don't you know if they don't keep somebody entertained for longer than 30 seconds, then they're bored.
Yeah, and I'm tired of ads on everything, dude. I opened up my bank today and it was like all these ads for all this crap. I'm like, quit selling me shit, man. I'm on my bank. Like this is my bank app. I'm in my account. I don't have. If you're gonna put that shit in my account, give me some money for it because I don't want to see crackers on sale at Publix because I'm close to Publix. Like I don't want to see that in my bank crap. I just don't. But I think I think 5G did a bad thing for us. Not gonna lie. I think that was a horrible thing for our psyches because we know that our bodies put off electrical energies and currents and all that stuff like that. Like you can't, and it runs along the same wavelengths as radio waves and stuff, right? Like from what I understand. I mean, this ain't factual, but assumptions out there are that. Um, and we run on the same wavelength. So now they're everything we have is a wavelength. Our phones, our computers, the internet, like everything's according to Kamala Harris, everything's up there in the clouds somewhere. It's like whatever. But that's funny. But I do think that has something to do with it because there's so many people right now that are struggling with panic and anxiety disorder, and it's not good. We're on a bad track.
No, there's probably thousands more that you don't even know about.
Yeah, and they were, and during that time of my thing, they were dumping medication at me. They were dumping medication at me every time I turned around. It's like, well, this one's making me mad. This one's got me suicidal. This one's got me freaking just sleeping. It's like they just kept throwing them at me, throwing them at me. Finally, I was like, well, I gotta quit all this crap, dude, and just get through it. Detox. Like I had to literally detox from trying to get help. You know, and it's just
Well,
like,
it's even gotten to the thing. I mean, and honestly, this really blew my mind. It was a video where uh, James Hetfield from Metallica was out on the front of the stage, and he's talking about how he was, feeling like maybe he
he
didn't know
froze
how to
up.
play anymore, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking James Hetfield. You've played in front of millions of fucking people. How could you ever feel that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you cut out there for a minute. You froze up. So what were you? What happened to him?
Oh no, he went out on stage and was saying that he was worrying that maybe he couldn't play as well as he used to, and maybe the fans weren't getting the show that they were, basically having like anxiety
Huh?
about being out on stage. And my whole thing was like, I'm like, dude, you're James Hetfield, man. You freaking rock god. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be crippling, man, because you I mean, and that's what people don't understand. Like all the things that I like to do, or anything that creates any kind of adrenaline or makes my heart start thumping or anything, freaks me out. So I don't do it. Like I want to work out. I want to go to the gym. I want to ride a bicycle. I want to do all these. I want to work hard. But anything I do, if I don't maintain my heart rate, a certain heart rate, or if I don't, it's weird, man. It's like I don't even know. And then it's the health anxiety part's just terrible because you think you're gonna die from some crazy disease or disorder or something. And I'm, I don't know where it's coming from, but someday it will come out that it's coming from somewhere. This isn't normal. at all.
which is, I mean, it's not funny per se, but like ever since I've been off the antidepressants and gotten back into watching my diet and doing the workouts, as long as I've got that to focus on, I've been all right.
Yeah,
You know, if I ever get a thought in my head or whatever, I'll go do 50 push-ups or something like that, just to and maybe it's a dopamine hit that's keeping me going. I don't know, but as long as I've got that focused effect, I mean, being an older dude, they tell you need to take more rest days, which whatever. I'll take one or two, but even on those rest days, I'm like, man, I need to be doing something.
yeah,
I should be, you know, I should be going for like a 2 mile walk, or I should be doing weights, or I should be doing something. Drives me nuts.
yeah. Well, that's what's hard for me. Like I said, is I would love to do something like that when I'm feeling anxious or whatever. But if I were to sit down and do 50 push-ups, first of all, my chest is going to kill me because my chest is the first thing that always hurts like crazy, and then I end up feeling my heart beating all the way up into my ears and my chest and everything. If I could do that and normalize the chest pains and the heart palpitations and all that stuff that comes with it, that'd be great, you know. But it's almost like when I did the stress test, man, I was at the hospital doing the stress test, running on that treadmill, and I was like freaking out. 'Cause I'm like, dude, my blood pressure's going up, my heart rate's going up. They're like, no, you're good, man, you're doing good. I'm like, I don't feel good. Like I'm gonna pass out, and you're gonna have to code blue me or something. I don't know whatever it is, but where's that heart machine you gotta zap me back to life with here in a minute, you know? And then you hear about stuff too, man. I'm tired of hearing about stuff. So I was talking to a guy. I'm looking at an RV, and I was on the phone with him today, and he said something about drinking, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't drank for years." And I was like, "Oh, that's good, man." I said, "I'm working on quitting right now." And he went into the whole spiel where he ended up with UTI, started having grand mal seizures, went into this freaking coma because he went septic, and I'm like, "Oh God." Like, that that triggered me at that point there. I'm like, "God, I'm trying to quit drinking. What if I start having grand mals? What if I have a UTI?" And now it's stuck in my head that that's what's wrong with me, and that's my problem, and it's like, God, I can't hear anything without and it's not manly, dude. It's not manly to be like, "Oh, you can't talk about that around me because if you do, I'm gonna freak out, and I'll obsess over that for 3 or 4 days," you know? And it's
How much
lonely.
of
It's
that is
it's the
how much
loneliest
how much
freaking
how
thing.
much of that is manifested though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what's
You
scary.
feel like do you feel like you manifest a lot of that stuff?
Well, and that's what's scary is because, you're always told you can manifest things, and I truly believe you can manifest things. I'm like, I don't wanna manifest a heart attack. I don't wanna manifest a seizure. I don't wanna manifest that, you know? Um, like, I'm not trying to. It's the subconscious part of my brain that's doing that to me. It's not it's almost like an obsession. I mean, they say we have, like, 50 to 70,000 subconscious thoughts a day. Something's feeding those thoughts to think the way I'm thinking. I'm not having subconscious thoughts about rainbows and butterflies and squirrels and bunnies and beaches. It's all just terrifying, scary shit,
Right.
you know? So, I don't mean to. And that's where it's lonely because 'cause I'm always telling Ruth, I'm like, "I'm the loneliest freaking person I know." And she's like, "You've got people around you all the time." I'm like, "That's not what I mean." Like, when I say lonely, I mean I'm lonely. Like, nobody gets what I go through. Like, I can talk to somebody all day long, and rarely can I talk to somebody that's, "Holy crap, I get it." But then they're questioning you like, "Are
Right.
you being serious, or are you just telling me what I wanna hear?" Because everybody's had stress and anxiety at some point in their life, but this shit's a whole new level, man. I watched that Chester Bennington thing not too long ago, and I was like, "That dude's me." Like, when he's sitting there going, this up here is not a good place to be in, and that's scary. I don't wanna do that either. But it's true, and, the only thing I know that really helps me, though, is it is a phase, it does pass. You could have your worst day in the world, and it does pass. I mean, hell, when I tried hanging myself, it passed. I didn't hang myself, thank God, and, you just gotta struggle, and if you're having a really bad day, just do whatever you can to sleep and get through that day 'cause there's tomorrow. You just feel like there's no help for you because it's not. If I actually had a heart condition, I'd be getting taken care of for my heart condition. Don't do this, don't do that. eat this, take this pill, something. But when you have a brain condition that they don't, that they say is like a, just that there's no magic pill for it. You know, it's try this, try that, and even then, when they give you the pill for it, it doesn't fix it. It just covers it up. You know, you're not fixing anything. So, but I'm on a journey to find the answer, dude. I promise you. If it means I've got to get rid of this phone and get rid of Facebook and all that, that's what I'm gonna do. But
But you can't get rid of the podcast.
no, 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 can't do that. But I don't need to get on Facebook and TikTok and see where, we're sold so much at such a fast level. It's like, oh yeah, dude, like, let me just watch something and
Well,
bored.
when Facebook first came out, it was probably the best Facebook there was.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when Facebook first came out, people were you were it was a way to get a hold of people that you hadn't seen in a while. Find out what was going on. People were taking pictures of their. When's the last time you see a picture of somebody's food? You know,
Yeah, rarely.
somebody would post what they were having for dinner, and after a while, sure, it got boring as shit. But I'd almost I'd almost want to see pictures of food now because people have turned Facebook into their own personal soapbox
Guilty,
where they just get on there and bitch all day.
guilty.
But
I do it usually when I'm drunk. You can always tell the nights I'm drinking because it's a. I'll put some dumb crap on. I try to delete them, but yeah,
yeah, whatever.
it's a good place to go vent. But I do wish it was like it used to be, where you just kept up with family more. You saw that now. It's like you got a girl in there. It's like, took my kid out to the park today. The kid's like got a little tiny smidget in the background, and it's just like her kids hanging out. It's like, oh, good for you taking your kid out to the park. Like, this, you want to put your kid in the
I'm
picture
not
right
looking
now?
for attention at
Yeah,
all.
no, no. Took little Bubba swimming today, and it's like, yeah, you're in a thong. Like, what's your Bubba? Your Bubba's wrapped in a towel, and you're in a thong. All like, okay, cool. I mean, I don't want to see your kid out of a towel either, but like, I definitely didn't want to see your half naked body all over the place. And then if you like on it, it's like, oh shit, because sometimes I like on things just to like on it. Just like I just scroll through, like I'm a habitual liker. Click boom. I don't even pay attention to it. It's like, oh, dude, I don't want to give that kind of. I don't want to support or promote that kind of attention. I mean, there's a lot of times, like Facebook, the way their system's set up. Like if you look at it, the following button is right where your right thumb would be to slide, and the like button is where your left thumb would be to slide. Like there's so many times I've liked on things that I didn't want to like on, and somebody will bring it to my attention, like, "Why'd you like on that?" Like, I didn't like on it. I remember seeing it, but I didn't like on it. And then I'll go back and be like, "Sure, shit's brown. I'm liked on it." So then I have to unlike it, and I feel like a dick. But I end up following all these people, man, and I don't mean to follow too. It's like I've been looking at it like, how am I following these people? And sure enough, man, I've many a times I'd hit that thumb up and it would say you're following, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, no, I didn't want to follow. I don't want to watch that dude. Some Hispanics carrying 50,000 bales of hay on their shoulders and across a river. Like I don't want to follow that guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
There's a monkey doing jump rope, so I eating a banana. Good for him. I didn't want to follow that. But once you hit that follow button, it doesn't matter if you unfollow him or not. Their shit's on your page from then on. So weird. So
Or they'll send you something. Or they'll send you something that's just like it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's nuts, man. Like just nuts. Like there's so much going on right now that. But I just we're just sold all the time. Um, just I'm trying to come up with a like what's funny. Like my buddies drink Bush. You know how many Bush ads I get on my phone now? All the time. Marla asked me the other day if I'd buy her Bush Light. I went down about. I've had like 6 Bush Light ads on my phone just today. It's just like we have to be. I don't know. Like I said, I'm ready. And here's one. Here's Blink. Never had a Blink ad on my phone before. Guess what? Ruth is telling me was on sale on Amazon right now, 50% off. Blink. So
Like,
I'm over it, man. Like when I see that kind of stuff, um, when we see that kind of stuff, I want to it makes me just want to delete. I really want to go get a new flip phone. I heard Verizon's coming out with a flip phone, and I just want a basic phone, dude. If I want to look at something, I want to go on my computer and look it up. I don't want to be sold something.
well, for anybody that's listening on their phone, ANS Performance, Reaper Apparel.
Yeah, yeah. My mom the other day. about my chest, told me I need to get
Show him
Vicks
some
Vapor Rub.
love.
My mom on the phone told me I need to get Vicks Vapor Rub for my chest. There's an ad for Vicks Vapor Rub on my chest or on my phone. What the hell? I mean, come on, dude. Um, just crazy, man. And I do think it's real. Like today, here's a crazy example about my anxiety disorders and stuff. And I'm not going to show you this person's thing, but I was outside by myself and I was like, why do I feel like I'm having depersonalization? Like I felt like I was out of my mind for a minute. Like I just didn't feel like anything was real. Somebody just posted, anyone have agoraphobia, derealization, and lightheadedness? Like there's something going on where it's like our whole group here is all getting the same thing. And I'm just curious if what they're looking at on their phone as far as ads and things, if it's very similar to mine, and if we're just not getting put in this loop over and over and over again, you know, I'm going to figure it out, damn it. And they'll probably end up assassinating me and you know, because I'm going to figure it out.
You're gonna find out who the second gunman on the grassy knoll was.
Oh, I already know who that is. Yeah, I'm going to figure it out. But it's weird because, like, the other day I was thinking Jeremy told me he needed to get new razors and he likes Gillette. Gillette's the only one he can use. Well, dude, here's a Gillette ad. Like, I don't get ads from things that I don't talk about ever. You know, I don't get ads for Hellman's baked beans or Hellman's shit, or I probably will now. But let's come up with some. Let's test this out. Let's see. Let's come up with. All right, we'll get some guitar strings. I need to get some new guitar strings, man. We'll see how long it takes me before I get ads for guitar strings.
I love me a good Gibson
Oh
guitar.
yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna put that in my notes real quick. All right. So anyway, hopefully we touched on some things about panic and anxiety disorder. I know we kind of got sidetracked, but hopefully somebody will listen to this and have questions or understand or know that you're not alone, and it will pass, man. You're gonna get better. Just gonna take time.
Well, on that subject, uh, I don't think we've ever mentioned it on here yet, but there is a chat group for Remnants of Dysfunction. Chat group that you can search out, and if you want to talk to one of us or talk to somebody, uh, it's open for whoever wants to get on there.
Always
We
seek
will gladly
medical
talk to you.
advice. So we're not doctors, we're not psychologists, we're not therapists. Always seek counsel. But if you just want to talk to somebody, to just talk to somebody that might understand you, reach out. So
Yeah. I can listen like a some bitch.
yep. And I can talk like a son of a bitch. I'm trying to slow down my talk, and I was listening to our podcast the other day. I was like, "Damn, Chad, you sound like a New Yorker on heroin, man, like you." I couldn't even hear myself
You
going
sound
on.
like a New Yorker that lives in Tennessee.
Yeah, I stressed myself out. I was talking so fast. I was like, "What the hell?" Um, so anyway, yeah, we'll get into more of these more in depth, and that's kind of fun though. What's your take, Mark? You battle some depression? Want to give your 2 cents on your experience with it, like what you felt like and all that?
Yeah, I think a lot of mine was medically induced. I touched on that last time, and that's what got our shit pulled off of YouTube. So
Oh yeah,
I'm not going to go into real depth on that one. So if you know, you know.
yeah. Look, here's another person that posted on one of my groups. Having
I do
derealization,
think it's pretty sad though that we can't
free speech.
express personal things and maybe help somebody by expressing those personal things and they get pulled off.
Yeah, no, we're not allowed to. Yeah, so here's another one. I just opened up my Facebook page, and there's in one of my groups. Here's another person that says having derealization, agoraphobia, and anxiety. Like it's in waves, dude. All of us are getting it in waves. It's weird because the next 3 days they probably won't talk about that, and it'll be stomach issues. Like mine are now stomach issues. I'm worried about my stomach. And this one person I was talking to was also like, "Hey, I'm having stomach." It's weird, dude. I'm telling you, there's something going on. Remember how I talked about crackers earlier? I've never had a ad for crackers before. I just said I never had an ad for crackers before. And there's an ad for crackers. Can't tell. We're gonna get shut down for this crap right here. That's what's gonna shut us down because we're catching on, dude.
Shut us down. We'll start another one.
Yep. You got it. But yeah, I don't know why you would have gotten. I don't know why we would have got that one flag. What was it? Oh, because we were talking about the meds and stuff, right? I think we
Well,
even
I think
talked
it's
about
because
specific brand.
I think we talked about the jib jab or something.
Oh yeah.
God forbid you talk about that shit.
And if we weren't so censored so much, I don't think people would be so mad. But we're censored everywhere. Like that freedom is, we're going to get shut down for that too. But to be able to openly say what you want to say and feel what you want to feel, you can't do it anymore. You just can't do it, and it's sad. Oh, ADHD moment.
No, because somebody's gonna somebody be butthurt about it.
ADHD moment here, real quick. Oh yeah, here's a
Oh, I
bank
thought you were
ad.
gonna tell me you had a. I thought you were gonna tell me you had an ad for Gibson guitars or something.
No, I got a First Horizon Bank one though that just showed up. Sponsored ad. I hate them things. Did I get so much junk sponsored ads? But let's condolences to the Chris Christopherson family, man. I was hating to hear that. Man, he was an
Oh yeah, Kilmer
excellent
just told me about that.
excellent writer. Uh, Great guy. We were lucky enough to see him in person a couple times. So that was one time actually. That was pretty cool. Uh, but yeah, I can't believe he's the last of the. No, Willie Nelson's the last of the Highwaymen, I believe. I think the rest of them are all gone. Yep. Yep. So I keep popping up to see if we're gonna have guitar strings on. Probably need it's probably band specific. I probably need to say something like Ernie Ball or something. Of course, they might not hear me because my headset's over here. Let me see. Ernie Ball.
It's just sad that I don't know, and I'm sure everybody goes through it, but it just seems like you get to that certain age and people like that you've listened to or looked up to or even friends friends parents or maybe their brother or sister. I don't know. It's just weird. It's
What do you mean, like people that have kind
definitely
of?
I've definitely noticed it more that just be like, oh, so and so's dad died. Well, damn man, I used to hang out with his used to hang out with him and his dad forever.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. That could lead to depression too, I guess. You just realize that you're on the downhill side instead of the uphill side anymore.
Well, we're always on the downhill side from the day we take our first breath. We're our final day is coming. And there's no way to get around that. Like I said, I've accepted that. I'm totally fine with that. I don't like not knowing what that day is going to be. It'd be kind of nice to know, but then again, I wouldn't want to know. But I'm trying to get to where I'm living my best life. Like I've been stressing lately about what I'm going to do, what I want to do, and I'm like, man, I'm on a good side of the dirt. I'm doing fun things. I need to start being a little bit more appreciative of my opportunities and situations, and I definitely need to take advantage of more opportunities and situations. Because we're only here for a minute, man, and you can't take anything with you when you go. So uh, I'm trying to not put so much stress and pressure on where I'm at in life right now, um, and just try to enjoy the moment more. Does that make sense? But it's hard because we're conditioned and you become accustomed to a certain way of life for so long, and we're told what is normal and what's nice and what you're supposed to live like, and you know, this RV life is kind of like one of those in your face, like, haha, I'm not living that way. You can't tell me to be that way. Um, oh, look, there's a U.S. bank sponsor. So it takes about, when did I say something about U.S. Bank? About 10 minutes ago? I've never had a U.S. Bank ad on my phone, ever. So let's see, it might be taking about 10 minutes for these ads to pop up for things we're talking about. But I'll tell you what, man,
What are you looking on Facebook?
yeah, if I get a guitar string ad on this phone in the next couple days, man, I'm throwing this shit out. Like, I kid you not. Um, yeah, I can't even go on TikTok anymore because of the crap that they put on there, man. It just scares the shit out of me. It scares me. They said they keep showing that same guy having that heart attack over and over, but they don't tell you if that guy was born with a heart condition, if he knew he had, a lot of the stuff that I think I'm gonna die from is stuff that people have had, um, like they've usually had an issue growing up or they've had something their whole life, you know?
Right,
I've
right.
I've had 2 buddies recently that have had heart conditions or issues, and I'm like, "Oh my god, construction's gonna do it to you, man, blah yada yada," and they're like, "No, man, I 30 years ago when I had heart surgery." It's like, oh, so you've always had heart issues?" "Oh, yeah, man, I've always had a heart issue." Like, "Oh, okay." Now I'm sitting over here healthy and don't believe it. Like, I'm not healthy, I think I'm, because you feel so mentally sick, and honestly, it takes a toll on you physically, like, I could sleep, man, I could sleep for days, and I don't get it, like, I could literally just sleep, and I don't wanna sleep that much, but just, anxiety's freaking
No.
exhausting.
Oh, damn it. I was hoping I'd have a guitar string on there, but no such luck.
Yeah, I don't really want one because I don't really.
Gibson. Gibson guitars, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Les Paul.
you're really setting yourself up now. You're gonna
Yeah, bring it.
you're gonna
I
get
want to see. I want to see Slash from Guns N' Roses playing a Les Paul, shirtless with his top hat on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be right there for you at any minute. I mean, they're already showing him all over the place.
Boom.
That's funny.
Get specific about that shit.
Trey Jones, I probably shouldn't promote this kid, but remember how I was just talking about Trey? He just popped up with panic and anxiety. He's got this group, anxiety, stress, and panic attacks. Trey Jones, man, if anybody wants, he went through some really bad stuff too, man. Um, I haven't ever reached out to him, but he's got some great videos and great YouTube stuff, man. Just it's really cool. But it's funny how he just popped up. He never pops up, so you can't tell me they're not. They're not. I mean, he's only like 5 scrolls down from where I just was. It's just nuts how that works, man. I'm sorry. Call me a conspiracy theorist. Shut me down. Whatever you want to do, but just not right.
There's something going on.
Yeah, and I'm about over it.
There is something going on.
Well, it's like our scrolling, man. When you're scrolling this stuff, it's like your mind's constantly. Then your eyes get all jacked up, and you're like, "Oh my god, why can't I see?" Like, you've been staring at a freaking phone, scrolling for the last 2 hours. And it's an addiction, dude. Have you ever tried to not have your phone for a day, or not scroll or open any social media for a full day? It's hard. It's such an addiction, man.
I always wondered, like how we took a shit without our phones.
Oh yeah, dude. What do we do?
Of course, we had magazines to read back then.
I didn't read magazines.
Playboys.
Maybe that's why I shit so fast. I sit, I sit and get, man. Unless I got my phone with me, then I'll sit there and be like, "Oh, let me check my email."
Oh, let me see what's going on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wonder if
Then
there's a quicker way to take a shit.
squatty potty.
Hey, look! Hey, look! It's a squatty potty. Oh,
Yep.
hey! I need some poopery.
Yep. Yep. Next thing you know, you're buying
You
something
ever see?
on.
You ever see some of those poopery commercials, dude? They're a riot.
It's been a while for sure.
The one with
Man, it's been a
the one
while.
with Santa Claus. The one with Santa Claus was that fucking killed me every single time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Not sponsored by poopery though. We could be. Send us some
Yeah.
poopery.
Yeah, we poop. My shit don't stink though, so I don't eat it.
Ah, there you go. Word. Boom. Mic
Word.
drop.
I'm out. Peace.
Lazo out.
Lazo out. Oh
Alrighty,
man.
we're catching up to an hour here, so I think we've talked people's ears off.
Yeah, yeah. They
We're
don't have to
still
listen to
hanging
the
out.
whole thing.
Oh,
They don't.
fuck them
But
if they don't.
we hope. Again, our stuff's open. If everybody needs to chat or talk or whatever, we do have a Facebook
Just
group,
kidding. We
right,
love
Mark?
you.
We do
Yes,
have a
there is
we
a
do have a group page.
Remnants of Dysfunction Facebook group for chats. You can hit up the Facebook page. There's plenty of ways of getting a hold of us.
Gotcha. Alright, might have to share that to my wall. That group. Is it Rod or no? Is it just Remnants of Dysfunction?
It's Remnants of Dysfunction
Lost you.
chat group or some bullshit like that.
You were gone there for a minute. What?
It's Remnants of Dysfunction chat group or something like that. I'm not sure. I
Well, you're
can't
doing
believe you should be able. You should be able to get into it anyway.
yeah, but then I'd have to know. I mean, I put my first post down there finally the other day, right? I don't. I need
Yeah,
to get on there and do a. If there's another cheese it ad. Um, I need to get on there and do a video like you did to see what's up.
yeah. Remnants of Dysfunction chat.
Yeah, that's where you need to go. Where you need to go. Oh, and
Get on there and hit us up.
if
We
anybody's
will
still
chat with you.
if anybody's still listening, that lady didn't do the $50 thing, so there's still a fitty out there to be had. Uh, someone's got to do it. Apparently, that one guy thought we were fake. Uh, so I don't know who needs to change that thing up, but that $50 is still available.
Yeah, somebody's sticking up for us here.
Yeah, I saw that. That Joe Carlin. I think he's from Nerd Valley.
Yeah.
It is. He's right. It's just like AA. You ever want to chat or join? Are you replying?
Nope. Go ahead.
Love to have you. All right. Well, people don't need to hear us doing this, I guess. So we'll say goodnight.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody for listening. We'll
Well,
chat afterwards.
definitely hit us up. Don't forget. Go to ANS Performance and Reaper Apparel. I'll put the codes in show notes or whatever, and you can get yourself some cool products at a discount.
Absolutely. Get some apparel. We're gonna
So
order some here, and
until next time,
we're gonna order some and then do a
right on,
giveaway on them.
fucking right. We're gonna go into beast
All right,
mode,
man.
baby. Peace.
When will this? Well, we'll talk when you close her down. All right, bye, everybody. Love y'all.
That
Thanks for watching, Rod.
later.
Thanks for watching,
Stay
Rod.
real. Kick ass. Rod.
Word, Rod.
Word.